As a provider of online training for building automation companies, one of the biggest questions I often get is, what is the return on investment for providing training to my employees? Now, that may seem like a shocking question, and it may seem that it's very easy and obvious to answer, but if you really think about it, what is the ROI on training? That's what we're going to be discussing in today's Daily Building Automation Systems video. All right, so my name's Phil Zito. I'm the founder and CEO of Building Automation Monthly, where we provide online training to BAS professionals and BAS companies to help them execute their work more profitably and to decrease their time to revenue and increase their margin per employee. So what is the return on investment for providing training to your employees? So first off, we have to define what return on investment is. We have to define some terms like sunk cost. Basically, as a business, let's say you have $1,000. Okay, you have $1,000 and you can invest that $1,000 wherever you want to invest it. But the idea is that if you go and invest that $1,000, you're going to get more than $1,000 back on whatever you invested in. Now, oftentimes, it's very easy for us to measure things like marketing spend. You know, if we run ads, do those ads convert to customers or do they not? It's also pretty easy to estimate our cost of sales. If we pay a salesperson X, what is their close rate? Are we getting a return on that? But then we run into training, which we all intellectually know we need, but how do we measure a return on investment? So the first way that you can measure a return on investment that is very quantifiable is to look at an individual and to measure their execution, so their execution rate on projects, both in the form of utilization and margin per employee. So you look at how much margin is that person bringing in, and then you look at their utilization rate. Now, if you put someone on a project and their utilization rate increases after training and their margin increases, that can point to an effectiveness of training. But that could also point to, hey, we just put them on a project with stuff they're good at, and also, by the way, there is more margin built into the project. Okay? So that is good. We're good. We're getting there with that quantifiable kind of dimension, but we need to get a little bit more, okay? So our next thing to do, and I've talked about this in previous Daily BAS videos, we talked about this on our podcast, is we need to define task types. What tasks is this person executing? So if we know that we train someone on being a better installer, and we look at all of their installation tasks that they're executing, because we're using task codes on our projects, and we see that for comparable projects, it's taking them less time to install, then we can tie that back to training and say, you know what? That is an effective measurement. That's an effective ROI. We can see the ROI on that. So now you're seeing why you need to measure tasks, okay? So we've got, first we need to look at if they are increasing their utilization and margin, but then we need to kind of further define that by looking at, are these folks actually going and executing tasks more effectively? And the third way we measure an ROI on training, right, is that we look at these people who are out there executing the work. We're measuring utilization, we're measuring their effectiveness by task, and now we are going to go and take a non-quantifiable measurement, all right? And that is employee retention rate. So it's one thing to get your employees effective and profitable on the front end. But one of the biggest concerns I hear about from business owners is we're going to train people and they're going to leave, especially in the environment of which I'm recording this video right now, where it is very much an employee's market and the employees can, easily find work. So the concern is I'm going to train them up, they're going to leave. But actually the data from our customers does not prove that true. It actually proves that false. We see, based on customers, talking to them a year after training, that the actual retention rate, the average retention rate of employees increases after training. And that's because they're invested in, they're finding new challenging work, and short of just bad management and bad personality fits, folks are going to actually stay longer when you invest in them. So that's not necessarily a quantifiable. I mean, I guess it is quantifiable because you can measure retention rate by looking at your historical retention rate versus your now retention rate, your current. But those are 3 ways that you can measure the ROI of building automation training. If you're looking to learn more about training your team, if you want to assess your employees so that you can skill them up to execute work more profitably and to generate higher margin per employee, then definitely go into the comment section below the video. There will be a link that you can click on to learn more about how we help companies solve those problems. So I hope this gave you some things to think about in regards to return on investment for training your employees. You definitely should be investing in them because if you're not, they're going to go somewhere else, and they're also costing you money by not investing in their training and development. Thanks a ton, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow in our next Daily BAS video. Take care.